These are the plaintiffs, Lisa Young and Thomas Blake. Lisa says they rented a house from the defendant and it had really bad plumbing. They want out and the guy's stealing their money. He's trying to break the law. And they're here in the name of justice, suing him for the $3,769.15 they say they're owed. This is the defendant, Steve Berger. He says he's been a landlord for 30 years and never had tenants as impossible as the plaintiffs. And thank you God they're gone. Bottom line, they broke his shower heads, damaged others with a screwdriver, and he's not giving them anything back. He's accused of ripping off renters.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
All right, Ms. Young and Mr. Blake, you are suing your former landlord, Mr. Brugger and Ms. Brugger. You're appearing here for both of you for $3,769.15 because they withheld $1,886 from your security deposit when you left. Who wants to talk to me and tell me what happened? Ms. Young or Mr. Blake?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I shall start. So we moved in on April 28th, 2020. And there was immediately a problem with the water. It tasted nasty. Several weeks later, Mr. Berger admitted that the water was very high in iron and probably needed a water softener.
You know, we had numerous conversations and texts about questioning what the water report even looked like. Because, as Tom said, it was really nasty. Like, you obviously weren't going to drink it. We didn't even make coffee with it. We used spring water, and it was scaling on the glass door of the shower. It was a brand new house, so we were the first ones living there. So we thought, well, he doesn't really even know the nuances and the kinks of the house. It is what it is. That's okay. We're just letting him know. And then on July 13th, in the morning, there's two bathrooms. I used the downstairs bathroom and I had a rain shower. Tom uses the upstairs bathroom. And I was in the shower and the shower head made like a loud pop sound and then the water displaced itself out of the back. We immediately sent him a video just informing him this happened.
Let's see the video, just a moment.
Okay.
The shower head is not spraying, it's just dripping out of one end. And Lisa uses this shower, this is the master bedroom, and I use upstairs. And upstairs, it seems like some of the nozzles are getting clogged. So she went upstairs to use that, and she said the upstairs has much more pressure than down here.
All right, the complaint didn't say anything about a popping sound or anything else. It just said, look, there's no water pressure. So what happens? Do you talk to him or does Mr. Blake talk to him?
Well, we sent him a text that described the popping sound.
Let's take a look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm reading something about I'm burned on my leg, stomach, arm, and was hit in numerous places by all the metal that was on the stove. What happened with the stove?
It blew up.
Can you be more specific? What happened?
So it was a propane stove, and Lisa had been using it a few days earlier, and there was a puff that could have been a big puff, could have been attributed to how propane does that. And when we spoke to the representative from the manufacturer, she said, oh, yeah, that'll happen. You'll smell propane. It's okay.
Wait, someone said you smell propane and it's okay? Because I smell propane and I run for the hills.
Yeah.
Well,
someone said if you smell propane, it's okay.
Yes.
She said it'll burn.
Did you smell propane and you turned on the stove?
No.
What happened? How did it explode?
No. I was making breakfast and I had about 4 pots and pans on the stove. I was making bacon and boiling water and making eggs. And there was a huge explosion and everything came flying towards me.
Did you end up in the hospital?
No.
Did you seek any medical care?
I did not.
Okay.
And mostly because of COVID.
Okay. So what ends up happening is, I guess insurance ended up covering that, and that's not part of this lawsuit. But I'm interested in hearing it because it's the first thing I see on the text. All right. Now, I want to see the series of texts regarding the shower. That's really what I want to see. What is the day of the showerhead complaint?
July 13th.
Okay. Hi, Steve. Lisa said it's been getting clogged with time. Today she heard a pop, like an air pocket letting loose, and now it's just dribbling. Okay. Now, here is a picture that you take. What did you think, Mr. Berger, when you saw this picture that he sent you?
Well, the first thing I thought was there's clearly a screwdriver mark there. I mean, water's not going to put that little lip at the bottom and then push in on the top at the same time. It just, physics don't allow that.
So you would expect it to all be out as opposed to the top part being in?
Absolutely.
Okay, but
also,
why logically would a human take a screwdriver to that? What would be the purpose of taking that screwdriver and smashing the side of this thing? Because I'm seeing a smash. What we're talking about here is a smash. So if a human were to do that, what would be the point of punching the shower head? Or what would be the point of it? What am I trying to do? I just want to take a shower. So why would I do that to this?
My hypothesis is that it was taken off, and Tom or Lisa was trying to pry off the top to possibly clean it, and the screwdriver slipped on the metal and then pushed it in at the same time because the shower head.
But look at the gap that we're talking about. How would a screwdriver make that gap? You'd have to keep hacking at it over and over in order to make it that open.
The picture's a little bit misleading. I have the shower head here next to me, and I can show you.
Can you show?
It's not as big.
Raise it, please, and let me see. Okay. Right. Now, turn a little bit to the side. Like this. That's it. Stop right there. So I see the screwdriver in there, and I see how a screwdriver could open and separate the bottom and the top. But what did the damage on top of where your screwdriver is? That big old thing there. I mean, you got to be hacking at it for that to happen.
If I may show you like this, what I propose is that he was trying to open it and it turned and went in, because this is also pushed in at the top. Pointing to it right here, you can see the dimples around here. That's bent in.
All right. Okay, so go on. You go to the house, you end up changing that shower head, and do you also change a shower head in the master?
I changed the shower head. The damaged shower head was from the master. I also took the shower head from the second floor bathroom.
And what was wrong with the one on the second floor that you're also suing for that? Do you have that one here?
I do, because it was scratched and damaged right there. You can see the scratch and the dent.
Right, but how do I know when that happened? Is that the only thing damaged about that shower head?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So now let's discuss what would be, if you were him, why would you be doing this? In order to do what?
I don't know.
Okay.
I had some run-ins with Tom on other things. He was the authority on everything in the house.
Okay. So let me ask you something. Mr. Blake, did you stick a screwdriver and split the seam of this?
Of course not. I spent 40 years in construction, and I know that this is not a serviceable shower head where you would stick a screwdriver in and take it apart. And I also have a problem.
What do you mean you spent 40 years in construction?
20 years as an electrician in New York City and 20 years as a woodworker in New Jersey.
I don't even think my kids are stupid enough to take a screwdriver, and, I'm willing to go pretty far on that issue. But, to think that a screwdriver in the split would achieve something, especially if I spent 40 years in construction, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to go, like a caveman to try to get more water out of it. I understand your argument. It's kind of weird that it be in, but, unless you have somebody, I'm sorry. Did I breathe and give you the impression I was done? But I understand what you're saying, that, you could take a screwdriver to anything and go, look, I could have been done with a screwdriver. But that doesn't mean that you're proven to me that it was done with a screwdriver, particularly when sometimes it just walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It might just be a duck, because they're calling you in advance and saying to you, there's a problem. And you're saying, I'll take care of it. And they're telling you there was a pop. Look at how it's running. And then it's like, wow, this is something. When I went to the other side, I see this open. What do you think the guy did that after you say you're going to take care of it, he just starts hacking at it? Did you send a letter telling them why it is that you were going to withhold their money?
Yes.
Yeah. And you sent
I
it
did.
within the amount of time. Tell me about, you were holding for 2 shower heads. They only asked you to change one. You're withholding for
They
replacement.
damaged both of them.
Well, that's what you say now because there's a little mark on one of them a year later when we're in litigation. They only called you to ask you to replace one. And then he mentioned that the top one's clogging and you graciously replaced it. But you withheld from their security deposit both the cost of the original ones and the cost of the replacement, which is double dipping. Now, the cleaning charges, do you have any pictures of how filthy they left it?
I do not.
Okay. Did you leave that place filthy, Ms. Young and Mr. Blake?
No, we left it room clean. I easy off the oven. I deep cleaned the refrigerator. We wiped down the baseboards.
All right.
That is not true.
Okay, we're done. We're done. I'm finding in favor of the plaintiffs in the amount of their security deposit. I am not going to double it because your state doesn't require that. And when he has a good faith basis, and he sends you the letter and notifies you within the amount of time, and he did that, I disagree with him. He withheld too much, and I don't even find that he's able to prove to me that he should have withheld any under the circumstances. So I'm finding in your favor in the amount of $1,886.79.
So the plaintiffs prevail. They're going to get half of what they were seeking. Mr. Berger, let me ask you, how do you feel about the judge's decision?
I think it's preposterous. I don't see with how anyone could suggest that water pressure can push in and out at the same time. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And the plaintiffs are liars. That's all I have to say. So it's fine. It's fine.
All right. Many people may not agree with you, but if you say it's fine with you, that's it. You lost the case. You got to give them back their full security. Let's talk now to the plaintiffs. Mr. Blake, Ms. Young, you don't seem too concerned about the fact that you could have been blown up in that house. Do you realize how close you came?
Yeah, we do. And
I still have the mark on my leg.
And no, we have some serious PTSD from that.
Well, it's over. You're going to get your money back. So I assume you're satisfied. You didn't get everything you were asking for. You only get half of what you were suing for. Is that okay with you?
That's totally fine.
All right. Well, good enough. And that'll wrap up the case. Congratulations to you both.
Doug, we always talk about security deposits, and you should know that in many states, a landlord has a duty within a certain period of time, in many states it's 14 days, to either return the security deposit in full or return a part of it or none of it, but provide an itemized list of damages. And when a landlord doesn't do that, the tenant could get more than he is owed or she is owed. The tenant could end up getting additional damages for violation of law.
Have you ever been shocked at what the litigants were wearing, and what is proper courtroom attire anyway?
Yeah, I have been appalled by what some litigants wear.
They're not coming in suit and tie and...
I don't care about that. Are you kidding me? You think that's my standard? Whoa, my bar's so far lowered beneath. That might be a matter of just, finance. That's certainly not. I just don't want you coming in with a pair of shorts that are hanging down around your mid...
Or a tank top.
Stuff that's pretty obvious.
Yeah. People make bad choices. They come in looking like they're ready to play beach volleyball.
I had one guy come in with a T-shirt that said, "Don't ask me for blank," and the blank is another word for doo-doo.
Right.
Okay? And I looked at him and I was indignant. And I looked at him, "Mr. So-so, what is that on your shirt?" And he looks down and he just says, "Don't ask me for," and he just reads it out loud in court, So I made him go outside, turn his shirt inside out and sit with me because I'm going to call your case last now. And I had hundreds and hundreds of cases in front of him. So it's like a judicial timeout, essentially. Because what are you going to do? Throw everybody in jail all the time for disrespect?
No.